What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. Guys, we have some news. Oh God, we have some news. Okay, so we are seeing a lot of bugs. Shout out to Doggo, everybody else on the ZAF and Pain server, Heartfelt Harry, everybody else. They're doing some testing on GB and they're finding that the results are coming out even worse than ever when it should have actually been better. So let's talk a little bit what we're talking about here. Okay, so the elemental damage calculation method improvement should have increased all damage that we've been doing up to this point. And if you don't know what this essentially is, they've kind of screwed up and then they said we're going to fix it. Well, the fix isn't here. It's actually gotten worse, to be honest. And I don't think this is, I'm going to be as positive as I can here in this situation, because we know how the devs are. If they say something good, they come out with a bug. And I think this is another bug to try to fix a bug, which is hilarious to me, because this is a bug trying to fix a bug. Now it's even a bigger bug. So let's read this and go over this together. But before I do that, guys, remember, content creator program going on. It's about to end. Hit that support button. Get yourselves in. I'm not even going to show it just because this is a pretty serious topic. Extend essentially. Okay, I'm not going to go any further than that. I think we need to discuss this. Is pretty important here. So, elemental damage calculation method improvement: the increased damage taken effect from certain hunters and weapons, which was previously included in the skill damage calculation formula, has been improved to apply within the actual elemental damage category. The key thing you need to know here is what they say in red. I didn't read this part because I was sleeping. The change is an upward adjustment, not a nerf, and you will be able to experience higher damage efficiencies compared to before. And then it covers all of the people who will be affected by this, including Fern, Gina, Akari, Maylin, Harper, Sarin, Sung El Huan, Yuseyun, Stormbringer, Moonshadow, etc. Right? And the list goes on, So you should see technically a higher increase through a lot of these units when they are there, specifically Essel. Essel would be the biggest one here, because she would apply Prayer of the Week a little bit faster now without the break being applied, and technically your fire team should do insane amount of damage. So let's talk a little bit about what we found here in terms of overall uses. So I'm going to talk about Doggos. Hey, Payne, you low-key need to address NM removing 2 of the useful shops, and debuffs, we'll talk about that as well, being scammed now after the changes. Every team has been debuffed like crazy and doing less than what they're supposed to do. Fire's been hitting really bad. Full score SS is from second week of Manticore. So this is the second week Manticore versus the first week. I'll show you the numbers. And then from yesterday, the water team is doing 40 to 50 billion worse on average than it should be doing without Olena. Plus the artifact buffs and wind should be doing way more compared to last week. Realistically, 1 trillion, yet we're doing the same as last week, and some doing even worse with the insane amount of artifact buffs we just got as well too. So Doggo did a pretty good job explaining this. And again, we showed you guys the artifact increase. This is the shop, by the way, that used to exist. Now they've removed a shitload of stuff from that shop. So now it's the shop is pretty much nerfed to the ground. So of course a lot of whales are upset about this, because they used to be able to farm using the shop and pretty much buy everything from the shop. Now the shop is pretty useless for them, and it's become a problem. So okay, let's take a look here. So I believe this is 64. So let's say rage count 153 was 64 billion, right? And this is the number there, 64.4. Oh, actually, hold on. This is with 64.4, and then this is now 698. So I believe you guys can see here the numbers 649, 644, right? It went down. So it went down, which is really, really bad. So obviously this is a big problem in itself. I'm going to take a look right now and see the Discord. There's, Zaf and I and everyone are kind of talking right now and just kind of discussing things. Let me just go quickly to the guild boss section. And we're going to talk a little bit about this. There is a problem because other players are also finding the same issue, right? So this is Doggo's first. So here you go. And then this is obviously Doggo's second. So you guys can see it should be way, way, way higher, right? So we're all having a little discussion here. It seems to be blowing up a little bit. So I'm bringing this up because clearly either the devs have messed up, because I don't think this is something they would have done on purpose, especially knowing how crazy it is. So left was last week. This is last week's numbers, 554 with fire, and this is this week's number, 546. And this is a couple tests, right? Water, 599, water, 583. So you guys can see, in fact, it has dropped, right? Like people's numbers are not looking very good with apparently these buffs supposed to be happening. So I'm addressing this right now, quite honestly, because I don't think this was intentional. And because SLC is around the corner, we are seeing clearly either a lack of effort into releasing a patch or releasing an update without the proper patches, and it's got to be bugged, or the devs screwed up here and they lied. And I would like to believe to this point we have a pretty good relationship with this dev community when it comes down to nerfing, especially because they just mentioned they will not be nerfing anything else, right? So it unfortunately is looking like the numbers have in fact gone down quite drastically for almost every player. So Poppy is also showing his numbers, etc. So if you are experiencing this, guys, right now through the guild boss, and you've tried the new buffs out, and you're getting the same kind of issue, then it looks like you're not the only one. This seems to be happening to everybody right now, and it seems to be across the board to all players. So guys, feel free to please leave a comment on this, of course, and make sure that it is something that you include in the comment section, being like, hey, this is happening to me. Try to talk about your numbers a little bit. Don't give a synopsis, but give us a little bit of a number, and do that. Now, in regards to the shop, this is what it used to be right here. Right, end of sale shop, and it allowed people to buy brilliant, the Workshop Brilliant Light package 1, 2, 3s, simulation game packages, dungeon, Unity packs, and then etc. And now they've removed all of that, and now they've added this instead, which is absolutely garbage for a lot of players. Now, here's what's happening, guys, and I'm trying to explain to these guys on the Discord what's going on. They are not caring about player retention that much. What they're caring about is new player acquisition. Very, very different things. And what this is right here, guys, this is for player retention, veterans who kind of been they bleed it out already financially. And this here is actually for new players, which is what they want to get. They want to give new players the abilities to catch up and play the game and enjoy it the same level a veteran would, because they can then, take the money from them. This is exactly what's happening. And yes, I've said this before. I just want to say this right now. I said that Elena was a scummy move. So is this. This is a very scummy move by the devs. And I think it's something that definitely needs to be addressed. And it's definitely a problem, because they are now doing what every company out in the world does. And this is not just Netmarble, guys. This is everybody. Go, and I said this to somebody as an example. Go to your local cell phone company that you're with, be an existing client, and be like, hey, can I get the same deals as a new client would? They'll tell you no, because it's only for new clients, because this is a rat race, and everyone is trying to get brand new customers to come in, and old customers they already have in the bag. Unfortunately, this is just how business runs in the world. It sucks. It's scummy. It's the worst. But this is something that I definitely want you guys to address. If you feel like this has affected you as well as a player, please leave a comment as well about the shop, so they know that this is not to be stood for. And of course, guys, we need to make sure that the devs do fix this. If you are a player who's experiencing this problem and has noticed it, please go into the bug section of the game in the forums, and please put your notes in there as a bug report. If you don't know where that is, I'm going to show you right now real quick, so everybody's on the same page right here. Let's go to the forums. I'm sorry, that's not what I want to do. God is Game of Thrones. Right here. If you go down to the bottom, there's a bug report section. Put in your bug report and talk about that, okay? Because this will make a difference, and they will address it as soon as possible. Normally, what would happen is we would see known issues right here, but you guys can see 409 issues. They have issues with Battlefield Time Challenge. They have issues where the login PC fails, intermittent issues, where the game crashes, and then everything else has not been addressed. So none of this stuff has been addressed in this section. So devs, please do your job and fix this problem. We got a lot of players who do a lot of testing and spend a lot of time to play this game. They should be respected and given the credit they deserve, and this should be fixed. Don't bring out sloppy patches, especially right before your second year anniversary. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Take care.